So here we are at the placard here. It's basically indicating the town of Placerville being known as Hangtown. So right now we're going to go ahead and check out the original location of the Pony Express when it used to come through Placerville here. Now we're back here on Main Street here in Placerville, and I just want to point out how awesome it is when you come through an old downtown portion of an old city and they got their American flags out. I don't know about you, but there I get this little tingle or this little like goosebumps. It's just overwhelmed with joy and love for my country, even though I still think our country's going to hell in a handbasket due to all the stupid laws and politicians and crap. But I just can't help but to just stop and just take a look, just be like, wow, you know, the American flag is being displayed in all its beauty. Much like outside my house, I used to have the pro-law enforcement American flag, and I had to take it down because it just got too ripped up, unfortunately. So I just recently replaced mine with a nice, beautiful American flag that was given to me through donations that I gave to veterans. But yeah, just to be in an older part of town, in a historical city, and just to see the American flag displayed in all its beauty, just brings so much life to just how awesome it is to be in this country, and just to see the people that respect and have pride in their country and love it. So right now we're gonna go ahead and check out the original location of what was known to be a central hub for the Pony Express. Thank you. So here's the historical landmark that provides the information. Here's some, I'm trying not to be rude here and step on the flowers, but here's a little emblem type of seal. These are the founding fathers of the operation of the Pony Express. People, you should realize that without the Pony Express, there would not be the United States Postal Service. And in all honesty, there'd be no such thing as FedEx, GSO, DHL, UPS, I don't know, whatever else type of delivery services. But like I said, without the Pony Express, there would not be anything such thing as delivering packages to people from one spot to another. So this is a very important thing, you know, something we really got to think about, how important the Pony Express was to you this day and age getting your packages. This whole thing of getting your packages in 48 hours after ordering something on Amazon would not exist if the Pony Express never took place. Oh boy, it is getting hot out here. Did I not mention it's supposed to be 105 in Sacramento today? Holy moly, I have no idea what's going to be out here. So this location here was the hub for the Pony Express in Placerville. Now, Pony Express actually started off in downtown Sacramento, and there's a huge statue for that, and someday I might do an episode on that. And just right across the street here, there's a Picture of Snowshoe Thomas on his skis delivering mail. In the snow. Only him, no one else. Okay, folks, so now we're been given permission to be inside the historical Carey House Hotel. And some beautiful stained glass in here. I mean, folks, you don't have to go to church to see stained glass windows. Just come right here to Placerville, to the historical Carey House, and see some beautiful stained glass windows. And there you go, something with a good little pioneer feel. Covered wagons. A little bit of gold mining going on there in that picture. Nice beautiful old piano right here. This picture here was taken in 1899. Beautiful. Just the American flags draped all around. Like I told you earlier, it's so nice to come to an old city town, see the American flag displayed, get a good feel of good Americana and the love for this country. Banquet room right here. I should also note that Mark Twain stayed here. He also was a contributor to the local newspaper here in Placerville, which is called the Mountain Democrat. Here's a picture of Mark Twain. A nice little water fountain thing here. And just a little keynote here that, like I said, originally this was a 3-story building, and then was added on, upper part was added on to a 4-story, and this here is the elevator that was added back in 1926, I believe. And they don't make elevators like this anymore. This is almost like an old-time freight elevator. And here's a picture of Main Street. It says Main Street, Placerville, 1890s. And this little tower structure right here, that would be the bell tower. Another picture of Main Street. This one here is from 1900. So here we are, we're back on Main Street, and right across the street here is Hangman's Tree. Now there used to be a tree here in this spot, and they used to hang people from this tree. So the story goes that shortly after the foundation of Placerville, or I should, I guess the area here was, I'm pretty sure the area here was still called Old Dry Diggins. But there was a tree here at one point, a big old tree, and they used to hang people here. Well, the hanging really didn't take place until these three guys on horseback came through Placerville at the time and just basically terrorized the city with guns, just shooting all over the place. I don't know if anyone was killed or not. I can't find any record of that. But the guys were eventually caught, and their punishment was death. And so basically they were hung, and due to that, it just ended up being, because those three guys that got hung, they just basically established this as a place for hangings. And much like in Sacramento, if you committed a crime, you're going to do the time. A lot of times it wasn't time, a lot of times it was death, and you would go to the gallows. And technically this is just, there wasn't gallows really here, but it was a place just where they would hang people. And there's an effigy of a man being hung, as you can see. Now that wasn't always there. They've always had different mannequins, I think. But my understanding is the situation is very controversial. I mean, I totally understand the situation with slaves back in the day being hung because of the color of their skin or this and that. That does suck. However, this place is called Hangtown for a reason. It wasn't because they were hanging black people or any other kind of people of color. It was a place where, if you committed crimes during the gold rush, your peers around you, basically in the form of vigilantism, would basically determine your fate, and they would be hung right here at this tree. Now my understanding is when this building was built here, the actual tree stump of the tree is actually down in the basement, or built down in the basement underneath the building. It's still there, which I find very interesting. So this is another historical landmark. This is historical landmark number 141. So I don't know exactly when it was, but there was at one point they did take down the mannequin because there was an outcry about it being racist, even though the mannequin is clearly white, and it was clearly white back then as well. History is history. You can't go back and erase history. You just can't. All you can say is what took place then was wrong and should not have taken place, and move on. You can't be tearing down statues of things because the person is controversial to what they did in their period of time. History is history. You just can't rewrite it. Welcome to Placerville.